Hello, what's up guys? Welcome to CPDict. In few of the upcoming videos, we are going to explain the problems which have recently come in today's Lead Code Weekly Contest 203. So without any interest talk, let's jump straight away to those problems. Let's see the fourth one first. It's called Stone Game 5. There are several stones arranged in row and every every stone has some value associated with it, which is stone value. And Bob and Alice, as always, are playing games. They do not have anything else to do, and what they are doing is Alice is uh, Alice is dividing the rows into two groups. Let me explain it. Explain the problem using my drawing pad. What Alice is doing, uh, he or she is dividing the group that is the consecutive the stones into two groups, and those groups should be non-empty. And suppose it has this part has a sum s1 and this part has a sum s2, then uh, the minimum out of those is add up to the total value which we need to find out, like the score of Alice. So if minimum is s1, then we add s1 to the score, and if minimum is s2, then we add s2 to the score. And if in case they are equal, then Bob is letting Alice to decide which one she wants to choose, she or he, whatever she wants to choose. And suppose then in that case as well, we would be adding s1, and after that the group which is having the larger like some greater sum is is being uh, is being discarded. It is not considered for further process. Then we only care about the group which has the minimum sum, and this process keeps this they keep on playing this game until we are only left with one stone. So they keep on dividing the groups, stone group, into two groups, pick the minimum sum one, add it to the score of allies, drop off the block which is having the greater sum, and they keep on doing it. And if they are having, if the sum is equal, Bob is letting Alice to choose. Okay, so let's see. Bob throws away the row which has the maximum value, and then the next round starts with the remaining row. The game ends when the one stone remaining and initial score of Alice is 0. We want to maximize the score that Alice can obtain. So if you just think about this problem, it is a variant of matrix multiplication. There is a popular problem, dynamic programming problem, in which suppose we have n matrices and we want to multiply them. The order should be a1 to an. Then we want to find out the least scalar multiplication we should be having. In that case, we use the process which we use for that dynamic programming problem can be used here as well. Suppose we have a right now we have a row of stones, and suppose let's say starting index is I and the ending index is j. Then we can divide it into groups. Like I can divide it from here, this part and this part. I can divide it from here, here. So there are many ways in which I can divide this whole set of stones. I need to be dividing it into two groups so that both the groups are non-empty. So what I would be doing for each these set of blocks, I want to take the I want to maximize the score of Alice. So what I would be doing, I would be considering all such cases where suppose I'm dividing from here, or so on, and I would be taking the value of it, and after that I'm saving it in some dp, which is dpij, and suppose I got the max value as mx, and then I keep on going forward. Let's see how I am building up my DP. Here I am using two 2D arrays. One is the sum ij, which basically tells me the sum of all the stones from index I to j, and the second one is dpij, which basically tells me the maximum score ls can obtain if we have a set of blocks from I to j only. So I want to maximize this value. I will be building up my DP from smaller range from larger range, that is bottom up DP. So initially I would be building up DP I, that is I have only one stone in my set. It will always be 0, and I'm during my process I'm also storing the value of sum ii. It would be equal to stone I. This is for one size, like if we are having block of size 1 only. And for 2, let's say dp I plus 1. For this, answer for dp would be minimum of stone at I or stone at I plus 1, because the score of ls is the minimum among those two sets. And for sum I will just add the stone values of I plus stone of I plus 1. These are the first two smaller ranges which I would be building manually. After that I can just run a loop and start doing it for all this. Then for all such bigger sets, I have I here and j here, and I will be taking a variable k which will start from this place and end here, which means I can divide the block from here, here, and for all of such cases I would be finding out the maximum score I can obtain, and after that I would be assigning it to dp ij, the maximum I can obtain out of all such combinations. And for particular one case, suppose I am having k at this place. Now there are three cases. If sum of I k minus 1 is less than sum of k j, in that case ls score would be this one, because the block having the lesser sum would add up to the ls score. And if this sum is greater than this value, then we would be adding the second value to the ls score, because, and in the third case, suppose sum of I k minus 1 is equal to sum of kj, in that Bob is letting ls to choose whichever block he or she wants to choose. Now as we want to maximize our answer, even after dividing the blocks we want to maximize on answer, so ls would be choosing the block where the value of dp would be greater. So suppose if value of in this case where sum of I k minus 1 is equal to sum of kj, then if dp I k minus 1 is greater than equal to dp kj, then ls would be choosing the first block, because even after dividing he wants to get the maximum sum. So if this is satisfied, in this case he would be choosing this block. And if it is the other way around, that is dp I k minus 1 is less than dp kj, then ls would be choosing the second block. Okay, so we would be building our solution from smaller such sets to larger ones, we will bottom up DP. I hope you have got the point. So we will first build our DP array for size 1, then for size 2, then for size 3, then for size 4, and so on, and at the end we would be able to find out the answer of DP0 n minus 1, where n is the total size of number of stones we are having, and this would be the answer as we want to maximize this value. Let's see the code now. Yeah, as I've just said, I have maintained two global variables, that is DP and sum. I've explained what they signify and what they are storing. Initially I am finding out the DP and sum value for only one, when I am only having one stone, and this is for when I am having two stones, like groups of two. I traverse the array and find out the answers for group of two. The consecutive group, where we are having the stones in a consecutive manner, and then from I'm starting from step size 3 to step size n. That is, in this the total number of stones we would be having is j minus I plus 1. So it starts from 3 and ends at n, and at the end we would be able to find out the answer of DP0 n minus 1. And for each of those sub arrays, here this loop is used to traverse traverse through all the sub arrays, as I'm also incrementing I and j. And inside this case, where I am considering only the set of blocks whose index where the index starts from I and ends at j. Okay, initially I am initializing DPI to 0. The sum would be just sum I plus sum I plus 1j. This is a simple solution of this case. This is I, this is j. The total sum would be sum of this part plus sum of this part. This is I plus 1. So it is sum of I, this, and sum of I plus 1j, this part. Okay. Now I am moving my k from I plus 1 to j. That is from this value to last, where my second block starts from index k. So in every case I am making sure that neither of my blocks is empty, as second block k starts from k and k starts from I plus 1 and ends at j. Here these are the three cases. It's if the left part sum is greater, then the DP would be the right part. Like I need to add the right part, the sum of right part plus the answer I would be getting from the second set, because the game will go on if we are having more than one stone. This is the answer if we are going ahead with my game to the second block. I've already found it in my previous steps. And if the sum of the right part is larger, then I need to consider the left part, which is this one, and add the answer I would be getting if I keep on playing with the left part and the sum is greater, like the number of stones are greater than 1. Else it means the sum of left part and the sum of right part is greater. Now I want to choose the block I want, not me, like Alice wants to choose the block which is having from which Alice would be able to get the maximum score. So we are seeing that from where we would be able to get the maximum, from either from the left part or the right part. I'm adding that and adding some value, that is the score obtained in this current round. So we will just do this, and at the end we are sure we would be able to find out the answer in DP0 n minus 1. The time complexity of this solution is O of n cube, as we are going through all the sub arrays, and there are total of n square sub arrays in an array, and for each sub array I'm traversing the sub array, that is from k is equal to I plus 1 to j. So it would be into n. So it turns out to be, it is a O n cube solution. So I hope you have you are able to understand whatever I have just said. So if you like our videos, please like and subscribe. See you in the next video, where I would be explaining 2 or 3 more problems from this context. So take care, bye bye.